All right, it's been a while since I've covered this topic on my show. We're going to be looking at my favorite video editor. Now, this week I noticed there were a number of bugs in KdenLIVE. However, this morning I decided to build the latest versions from Git. So we're going to be looking at KdenLIVE 15.13, and I also compiled the latest MLT framework and the latest freer plugins to go with it. We're going to look at all that stuff right now on Spatry's Cup of Linux. Okay, let's begin. Let me go ahead and open up a terminal here and let's run KdenLIVE. The reason I'm running this from the terminal is in case, if it does give me any errors and that sort of thing, I can read what the output is and potentially fix the problem if there is any. And in the case this morning, before building KdenLIVE from Git, I noticed there was a missing shared object library that it wanted. And I figured, well, if I'm going to build the MLT framework from Git, I might as well build KdenLIVE and build the freer plugins. And let me tell you what, kids, in so doing this, it looks like I have something that's operating like a well-oiled machine. Because, well, first let me pull some stuff in here and explain some of the bugs that I had that this Git version seems to fix. For instance, if I were to drag a folder into here and then try and drag an item from the folder into the timeline, the program would crash. And it doesn't seem to do that now, which is a good thing. Let me grab some of this footage here. So that seems to work fairly well for me. Additionally, I had problems with individual things, like if I selected something here and then pushed the delete key on my keyboard, that would also crash KdenLIVE as well. And the only real workaround is to actually right-click on the clip and then select to delete the clip if I wanted to remove it. No major bugs that were in this that I could tell that would make this unusable. Although during the time that KdenLIVE was transitioning from the old KDE 4 frameworks to the latest KDE 5 frameworks, KdenLIVE was unusable on my system. But I'm glad they've polished and wringed all the wrinkles out of it, because now my favorite video editor is not only back in action, but it's also running better than ever. I love this stuff. Let me go ahead and just start making some things, and then I'll just give you a brief run around of some of the things that I have noticed. I didn't bother to read the release notes on, what's latest and greatest, but it's not that in not reading release notes, it's more so in just things that I've noticed as I've been going through this, and you'll see what I mean as we page through this. Now, in order to get this latest version working, I did have to delete my old 0.96, I believe it was, the old 0.96 KdenLIVE settings, and completely start from scratch. I really didn't want to have to do that because I spent so many days and hours building all of these really cool effects, some of which I have on the side here, but they have really streamlined the way that you have your effect stacks. So building effect stacks was very simple for me to do, and I found I didn't have to use as many plugins to achieve the same effects, such as the chroma key effects, where I used to have to use an edge effect to do some cropping, and I found I didn't have to do that now. So the freer plugins have improved quite a bit as well. Lots of great things to report here, and really I don't know where to even begin other than just start grabbing stuff and throwing things on the timeline here and just making some demonstrations. And not even making a real video here, just doing some playing around. Maybe I'll just go ahead and zoom this whole thing. One thing I really liked, and one thing about this video editor over other video editors in Linux, this thing is precision down to the single frame. So if I want to zoom in on a frame here, I can zoom in all the way to the frame, and now they have individual frame highlighting. So when I go to cut, I know exactly where it is that I'm cutting. And it's great for synchronizing audio with separate video footage, you know. And I demonstrate that in other videos that I have, so you can check out some of my other KdenLIVE videos to get a better understanding of what I'm meaning. Let's go ahead and go into a composite effect here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the green screen footage here and apply effect I made earlier. And then saturation on this is wrong. I need to fix that. That needs to be 90. And that needs to be right about here. Okay, and it looks like it's cropped and positioned all right. I could probably fix the edges a little bit here. But I really love the way they changed the look and feel. They streamlined this. It looks a lot better. Let's go into some color correction. Maybe I want to fix this up a little bit. Let's try adding levels to this. All right, maybe I want to increase the black level. Okay, I'm already beginning to like how that looks. But you can do tons of really cool things. And then if I want this as part of the effects stack, I just drag it up here and then position it where I want it. Okay, maybe I want that out the bottom. So I'll just, so you can rearrange these in the stacks. And then when I want to save that, I can just hit the drop down here and then save group. It already knows what the name of the group is. In this case, CK Big. Press OK. Do I want to overwrite it? Sure, why not? Of course, I'm probably going to go in and change this effect a little bit later after I've had a chance to play with the setting a little bit more. But there are so many really cool surprises in here. It just blows me away every time I play with this. Let's have a look at something else they brought back. If you go into your settings, and usually that is done from this menu here under settings, and then configure KdenLIVE. I put a quick launch to it on my bar here, and that's a really nice thing. You can customize this user interface any way you want. One thing I brought back in environment is the processing threads. There is a caveat with this, though. If you have it above the number 1, what's going to happen is sometimes your cursor is not, you know, when you position the cursor on the timeline, it's not going to sync up. So you need to keep that at 1, but then you can put that back on number 4 when you're rendering out composited clips, because then it'll use all 4 of your processors. One thing I've noticed, even though you go into the rendering settings and you tell it to use 4 threads, on compositing clips, it still only uses 1, and I noticed that in my CPU indicator on the upper right corner of the screen. I can see how much CPU is being used when it's rendering out. And so I need to crank that up to the 4 threads. I just have to continuously remind myself to turn this feature off when I go back into the editor and finish editing. So I'm going to put that back to 1, leave that where it is, because I need to be able to go in here and be able to do stuff with this. I really like how they also streamlined the process with the timelines. Right here, you'll see I have my composite layer here, and I really like this because you can easily position the cursor where you want. By pressing the plus key, you can add keyframes, which is what I'm doing right now. Drag this over, add another keyframe, and you can go to these individual keyframes, right, and do different things with them. Let's go on the end of the keyframes here. For instance, if I want to just change the opacity, I can do that. And what's even cooler is you can even add wipes to this. So instead of just dissolving, you can get maybe add a radial thing in there, and that adds a different little effect as you're going through here. Obviously, it'd probably be better on a full screen thing rather than a chroma key kind of scenario there, but it's really cool, the stuff you can achieve with this. It's absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and take that out. I don't want that. But it's amazing what you can do with this. And the thing is, if you don't like all the dissolves, the wipes, and that sort of thing, KdenLIVE will get it for you. Just by going into settings, you can click to download new wipes. The KdenLIVE add-on installer will connect to the repository. It'll give you a bunch of them you can download and use right away. How cool is that? I gotta love that feature. Lots of attention to detail just keeps going into this, and I can't thank the KdenLIVE staff for their efforts. This is really quality work that we're seeing here. Let's go into the render settings here, and you're going to see they've reworked this. Now, in the 1512, it's still the old interface. They've revamped this. I think I like this a little bit better because you can clearly see all of your settings right here. All of your favorite settings are on top. In my case, I usually encode in H.264 with the Ogg Vorbis audio format. That's a personal favorite of mine, but pretty much you have lots of options here available to you. So if you want to do WebM, which is for HTML5, MP4, MPEG-2. If you want to get into the new ultra high quality codecs such as HEVC, the H.265 or the WebM, it's available to you. And they've even brought in more audio export options. Yes! We've been wanting that. So you can export audio only as WAV, MP3, or AC3, which you can open up in Audacity, make your changes, and then bring it back in. So gotta love that. They also have lossless quality, or you have image sequences that can go out. And if you tick the more options here, you'll see the options that are in the old interface, such as you can set how many encoding threads you want on this. You can also determine if you want to rescale the video, and I do that a lot on my audio podcasts where I'm showing a video, but I really don't want, you really don't need high definition video for just a text or a picture image on the screen, and it's just an audio only presentation. So I'll just rescale it, makes the video smaller. Really don't need to have something like that in high def. And then other options are available to you here. So that is a really nice improvement as well. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and close that. Geez, I can't think of anything else right now that I missed out on here. Other than for the amount of time I did have some downtime, and I know I was unable to make any videos because of the transitioning time frame. I will say this was well worth the wait. Now, last night while I was in discussions with my buddies on Mumble and that sort of thing, I downloaded the latest OpenShot 2.06 and built that from the Arch user repository. And I couldn't even use that one. That was, and that's also using Qt 5 as well. And maybe they're still working some bugs out of it, so I'll revisit that one at a later time. I don't, because I used to use OpenShot for editing my videos and that sort of thing, and I would definitely like to revisit that one again and see if they've brought some of the things to the table that KdenLIVE already does, such as down to the single frame. Editing. I'd love to be able to do that, be able to have that level of precision with OpenShot, because they've got some good stuff in there as well. Well, that's all I have on this. If you have any comments on KdenLIVE or any questions, visit me on the forum. I answer KdenLIVE questions on there whenever they do come in, and I'm always happy to help. I don't read as many comments on YouTube. Just don't have time for it with real life and everything. That's all I have for now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I'm sure I'll see you real soon. Peace out.